The boutique sparkled with chandeliers and polished marble floors. The kind of place where the sales staff wore suits and the bags in the display case cost more than most people's rent. It was Saturday afternoon, and the store buzzed with soft music and the hum of well-heeled customers. That's when Angela walked in. She was dressed simply: dark jeans, a cream blouse, and a tote bag slung over her shoulder. She wasn't flashy, but her quiet confidence filled the room. Still, to the eyes of some, her skin color spoke louder than her demeanor. Across the store, a woman named Victoria, a wealthy socialite known for flaunting her money, looked up from the jewelry counter. She narrowed her eyes at Angela, her lips curling into a smirk. "Well," she muttered to her friend beside her, loud enough for others to hear, "they'll let anyone in these days." Angela ignored the comment at first, strolling toward a shelf lined with handbags. She traced her fingers along the leather, studying the craftsmanship. But Victoria wasn't done. She strutted over, her heels clicking against the marble. "Excuse me," Victoria said with exaggerated politeness, blocking Angela's view of the handbags. "I think you're in the wrong place. These aren't for browsing, they're for buying. Do you even know how much this one costs?" She held up a bag with a gleam of superiority. Angela looked at her calmly, her voice steady. "I do, actually." Victoria scoffed, laughing as if it were the most absurd thing she had ever heard. "Sweetheart, that bag is worth more than your entire outfit. Maybe you should try somewhere more affordable." She glanced toward the door, her meaning clear. Angela's expression didn't change. She simply smiled faintly and said, "Is that so?" Victoria's laughter carried across the boutique, drawing curious glances from nearby shoppers. The sales associate behind the counter shifted uncomfortably but said nothing. After all, Victoria was a regular, one of those high spenders the staff was trained never to offend. Angela, however, remained composed. She gently set the handbag back on the shelf. "I don't need anyone to explain the value of this bag to me," she said softly. "Oh, please," Victoria sneered, her diamond earrings glinting under the lights. "Women like you can't possibly afford luxury. It's not about wanting it, it's about belonging. And trust me." She eyed Angela from head to toe. "You don't belong." Her friend giggled nervously, adding fuel to the fire. "She probably just came in here to take pictures for Instagram. You know, pretend she can afford it." Angela didn't flinch, but the sting was real. A few other customers stared, some with sympathy, others with judgment. One elderly man even muttered, "Disgraceful," under his breath, but directed at Angela, not Victoria. Victoria relished the attention. She strutted toward the cashier, tossing her credit card on the counter with dramatic flair. "Wrap up that bag for me. I wouldn't want it touched by just anyone." The sales associate hesitated, glancing between Angela and Victoria. "Of course, Miss Collins," she said reluctantly, trying to keep the peace. Victoria smirked as she signed the receipt. Then, turning back to Angela, she delivered her final blow. "Here's a piece of advice, darling. Next time, save yourself the embarrassment. Stick to the discount outlets. This world, it's not for you." Angela's eyes met hers, unwavering. "We'll see about that," she murmured. Angela didn't leave the boutique right away. Instead, she calmly walked toward the back of the store, past the velvet ropes where the exclusive items were displayed. Victoria frowned. What is she doing? They're just letting her wander back there? The sales associate gave a nervous smile. She's allowed. Victoria blinked. Allowed? What did that mean? Customers weren't just permitted to cross those ropes. That was reserved for VIPs, or people with authority. Angela gently ran her fingers along the edge of a new arrival. A crocodile leather handbag valued at over $25,000. She inspected it with the care of someone who knew far more than the average shopper. Then, she turned to the young assistant working nearby. Could you make a note? The stitching on the side seam here is uneven. It doesn't meet our quality standards. Yes, ma'am, the assistant replied quickly, scribbling into her notepad. Victoria's jaw dropped. Our quality standards? What on earth was happening? Her friend whispered, do you think she works here? Angela gave a small smile, overhearing. Work here? In a way, the boutique suddenly shifted in tone. Staff members who had previously looked past Angela now approached her with quite respect. One even asked if she'd like the office prepared for her. Victoria's laughter faltered. She tried to mask her unease with sarcasm. What? Are you some kind of mystery shopper? Or maybe the manager's assistant? Angela finally turned, locking eyes with her. Her calm voice carried weight. Let's just say this store, and every item in it, means far more to me than it ever will to you. Victoria scoffed, but for the first time, there was doubt flickering in her eyes. Victoria was still smirking, but her voice shook ever so slightly. So what? You own a person here? That's your big reveal. Angela didn't answer right away. Instead, she walked gracefully to the center of the boutique, where a glass plaque rested on the wall. She brushed her hand across it, revealing the engraved words, Founder and Owner, Angela Carter. The room froze. Every employee turned their eyes toward Angela with the reverence they had been trained to show. The young assistant, who had been taking notes earlier, hurried over. Miss Carter, was so sorry you had to deal with this. She gestured nervously toward Victoria. Victoria's face drained of color. Carter? Wait, you're the Angela Carter? Angela's lips curved into a polite but icy smile. Yes, this is my store, my brand. Every design you see, every collection you so proudly flaunt on Instagram, it all comes from me. Gasps rippled across the boutique. Customers who had been browsing suddenly pulled out their phones, recording what was happening. Victoria's reputation for extravagance was well known. This public humiliation would spread like wildfire. Her friend whispered, "Oh my God, Victoria, you just insulted the owner." Angela's tone was calm but firm. You judged me because of the color of my skin, because I didn't fit your shallow idea of what wealth looks like. But let me make something clear. Wealth isn't about labels. It's about legacy, dignity, and respect, Victoria stammered, reaching for damage control. I didn't mean... It was just a joke. Angela cut her off with a raised hand. The only joke here is how quickly arrogance exposes ignorance. The crowd murmured in agreement, and Victoria's once confident posture wilted. Victoria's eyes darted around the boutique, desperate to find a lifeline. Angela, please. I didn't know. If I had known you were the owner, I never would have... Angela's gaze didn't waver. Exactly. That's the problem. Respect shouldn't depend on who someone is. It should be given freely, to everyone. The murmurs from the crowd grew louder. A few customers clapped softly. Victoria's cheeks burned crimson as phones continued recording. This moment was going viral, and she knew it. Angela motioned to the store manager. Make sure this woman is permanently banned from all of our boutiques. I won't tolerate people like her poisoning the atmosphere I built with integrity. Yes, Miss Carter, the manager said swiftly. Victoria gasped. Banned? You can't do that. I'm one of your best customers. Angela's expression hardened. A true customer respects the brand and the people behind it. You only respect yourself. That's not loyalty, it's entitlement. Her friend whispered, Victoria, let's just go. But Angela wasn't done. She turned to the watching crowd. Let this be a reminder. We all bleed the same, we all dream the same, and we all deserve dignity. Luxury without humanity is worthless. The boutique erupted in applause. Employees stood taller, proud to work under a woman who wasn't just a business mogul, but a leader with values. Victoria, humiliated beyond repair, stormed out with her friend trailing behind. Cameras followed her, capturing every second of her downfall. Angela exhaled deeply, then adjusted the plaque on the wall with her name shining brightly. She turned back to her staff. Now, let's get back to doing what we do best, celebrating beauty inside and out. In that moment, the message was clear. Wealth wasn't measured in money, but in character. Thank you so much for watching this story till the end. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe even learned something from it. If you'd like to hear more stories like this, full of life lessons, drama, and emotions, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you'll never miss an update. Your support means the world, and it helps me keep bringing you more inspiring and unforgettable stories. Stay tuned because more amazing stories are on the way.